Okay, welcome to my video, which version of Office 365 is right for my business. So we're a proud Microsoft partner. We've migrated a lot of users over to Office 365 and Microsoft's various cloud technologies. So I field a lot of these calls. People will contact us, and they'll have some idea about Office 365. Maybe they think they have an idea what the plan they're interested in is. But what I typically go through is a few questions that I take them through to determine what's the right plan for them. And so it's an amazing platform, and I'm a huge believer in it. So I'll talk a little bit and how I can make things a little simpler to understand about Office 365, because it's a huge growing platform, and Microsoft keeps expanding it substantially. About every 6 months, new stuff comes out, and they're on a huge roll with it. So right now there's about 75 million users with it who are using it every single month, and that continues to grow. It's become a huge part of our practice, and so we are a gold small and mid-market cloud solutions provider, and also a gold cloud productivity partner with Microsoft. And what does that mean at the end of the day? What it means is that we've done a lot of Office 365 migrations on the small business side and also on the bigger business side. So we know what it means to just get a small business set up, but also we know what it means to get a large customer set up where they're integrated with Office 365 with their existing computer network. And also what it means with the other pieces of Office 365, and typically that has to do with like SharePoint, for example. A lot of IT people are not really comfortable with SharePoint. They really haven't been trained in it. They don't fully understand it. So the fact that it's part of Office 365, they're like, I'm just going to keep my file server. But that's another video that I have. But anyway, so everybody here is certified on Office 365. And when I mean certified, there are two pretty heavy-duty exams that you got to pass with Microsoft to get that certification. And so right now, as of a couple of months ago, everybody here has that now. So if you combine moving about 4,000 users over, and you combine everybody being certified and having years of experience, and also Xerillion itself here at our company, it's all we use. I don't have file servers. I don't have any servers at all here anymore. Everything we use is in Office 365, and as you make that migration, first you start with email, and then you get into your document management, and then you start realizing the power of the collaboration tools that are inside of it, and not just whiz-bang, who cares, high-tech tools, stuff that it really has meaning in your business, and you just need a company that can show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and move along here, because my goal here is to make this short and sweet. So who am I? I'm the president and founder of Xerillion. We're a 15-person IT firm based in Schaumburg, Illinois, and we service clients all around the Chicago area and now all over the U.S. And when we do cloud stuff, it's actually pretty rare that we go on site. Most of it's done remotely. So the migration support, and then the support ongoing after that, and the advisement. I'm a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer. I'm also certified in Office 365. And I'm also certified in Dynamics 365, and that's coming on strong with Microsoft. So when we get into CRM systems, when we get into customer service systems, and financials, that's where Microsoft has added on their Dynamics platform. I have a computer science degree at the University of Illinois, and I've consulted for nearly 500 businesses in my career. Very aligned with Microsoft's cloud strategy. Their strategy is cloud first, mobile first, and I really get that. And so when we got on board with Office 365 here in the company and moved beyond just getting people moved over with email, we really dug in, and it wasn't easy. It was a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but it's just an incredible platform. And then if you want to get integrate your existing computer network with Azure and Microsoft's Enterprise Mobility Suite, which has to do around the security of securing computer networks through mobile device management, data access management rules and policies. You can replace the domain controller on your computer network by using Azure Active Directory. And that's the direction that everything's going with Microsoft. So for some of those hardcore networks, they have lots of deep integration into a local Active Directory controller. No, it's not a replacement, but it's heading that direction. Okay, so as I said before, I love Office 365. There's no more servers to deal with, and you're looking at a guy who's installed a lot of servers in his time. And what did that, what the servers really entail, for the clients? They entailed a document server to hold their files, an email server, those have really gone away, maybe an application server to host a business application, maybe a CRM system, maybe an ERP management system, maybe some other software, some CAD software, but that's really about it. Maybe a database. But when you have fully gone into the cloud, there's just no more hunks of hardware to deal with anymore. And you start to look at least I do, and I go, boy, it just seems very archaic these days to have those. Now, there's some people that don't have an option, and they have to have some on-premise equipment, but I just am seeing less and less of those needs. You have no more backups to deal with. So, backup and disaster recovery systems, you don't need those. You don't need some, daily watch of a backup system. Inside of Office 365, a lot of those pieces are there for archiving, are there in place for you. And again, that's another video, but you don't need those anymore. You could get another third party to do a separate backup of Office 365. That's certainly up to you. I don't personally do that myself, but you could do that. No more VPNs to get into your system. It's extremely stable. I could probably count, maybe I've seen a few blips over the 4 years that I've been using Office 365. Extremely stable, and it's more secure. If you think about it for a second, when an IT person with varying degrees of skill and capability and training go on, and they can go and get a server set up on your network, and the next thing you know, it might be set up properly, it might not. All you know is it's running, but is it set up really securely? I mean, what kind of requirements would that person have to go through? What rules do they follow to get it set up? In the world of Office 365 land, that's not an issue anymore, because there's a very regimented set of things you got to do to get set up in Microsoft's network, and they're way more regimented than what we'd actually have to do if we put a piece of equipment on site. And also, it's compared to having an on-premise system, it's cheap. It's cheap. I mean, we're talking plans that pretty much do most what small businesses need, starting at $5, and then if you need some software on top of that, Office software, it's $12.50 a user per month. And then if you want enterprise level security and capabilities, then you're at $20 per user per month. It's amazing. When I got into Office 365, what I noticed is, in addition to not having to deal with servers and server upgrades and all this stuff that I used to deal with myself and also for our clients, it stepped up my collaboration game. So what I mean by that is, I realized especially once I learned Office 365 and I got the certification done, it exposed me a whole bunch of areas I probably wouldn't have gone in and tried to figure out myself. But when you do the certifications, it forces you to learn certain things. I don't use attachments anymore. When I send proposals out, I send links. Those people click on links with an expiration on it, and it goes right to the document in my SharePoint library, because I gave them permission. They can send that around to whoever they want to, but that link will expire. And I could force them to log in, with a guest account if needed, but I don't typically do that. But I don't have to keep track of sending out this version or that version or various other versions of documents. I just send out a link. If I need to make a change to the document, I go make the change, and that person can click on that link again, and they'll see the change. You have and so it reduces emails. If you use Office 365 correctly, you reduce emails, you reduce meetings, and that's the thing I've seen here in our company. There's more collaboration, there's less emails, less meetings. And so anyway, you're going to get into things like multi-user editing. So, I've had people inside of one spreadsheet before where there's 4 people making changes at the same time. They all can see everybody's in there working on it together. It's almost real time where you can see those cursors moving around. But it's super helpful. I've had 3 people inside of a PowerPoint presentation before. Before we're headed out to actually do the presentation, there's various people on different slides making changes. Super powerful. And And once all your documents are in Office 365, your emails and your documents, all your data is there, you can basically do Google searches across your entire document and email network. So everything that you have permissions to see, so the documents you have permissions to see, and obviously your mailbox, things that are in your OneDrive, SharePoint's going to index all of the contents, the title and the contents. So you can do like keyword searches, Wayne or Xerillion, and you'll see all the documents where those two words would pop up. And then also there's apps like Planner where you can easily track what needs to be done at meetings. So when you sit down in a meeting and everybody goes, okay, you do this, this, and this, and this, and there's like 5 or 6 things that need to be done. Somebody writes it down on their, everybody's got their little piece of paper, tapping notes in their notebook, but there's no centralized place where all the tasks that need to be done are put, and then nobody's updating anything in the centralized place. Planner comes as an app that comes inside of Office 365 that is a godsend for those kind of things. So you make little buckets with tasks, you assign those tasks to people. It's super, you can teach people how to use Planner in 5 minutes. And all the notes from the meeting are kept in a little OneNote area, and you can go back. And the next time you guys all get together, you sit down, and then you go, hey, what did we talk about at our last meeting? Here's the tasks, and here's who got what done, and here's the notes we had at the meeting. And again, instead of just emails going back and forth. So when we're collaborating and I start to see a bunch of emails starting to go around that, they're good for a day, but then they're going to be gone, and out of sight, out of mind, in a few days, a few weeks, a few months, I get crazy. I'm like, listen, we got to get this stuff in a centralized place inside of Office 365, and it works really well for that. Okay, moving on. So I'm going to summarize the versions in plain English for Office 365, and there's a lot more here than what I'm showing you. But these are the things that usually come up, and the plans that typically or people would consider. And there's really one main plan that people would typically consider, but starting at the left here, we've got Office 365 Business Essentials at $5 per user per month. So this will give you a 100 gig mailbox. It'll give you your company 1 terabyte of document storage space, shared document storage, and each user will get 1 terabyte of space for their personal business documents. And they'll get the web versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. And those web versions are really powerful. Those are really people who just need to get access to email, maybe access to documents, maybe make some quick changes. Then you got the next level, which is Office 365 Business Premium. So what you add on there is the full version of the Office desktop applications. So the full version installed on your computer for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. Those are the key ones. Publisher, if you need to use that. OneNote, but installed locally on your computer and with all the functionality you need if you do bigger manipulations of documents inside of those Office applications. And you also get Planner. Planner was what I call is like the internal project or meeting management piece where you sit down in the meetings, you decide who's going to do what, and you keep notes about the meeting so that the next time you get together, you can just go easily just log into the portal, bring it up on the big screen in your conference room, and just see, okay, this is what we were talking about doing last time, who had what tasks, and see the status of them. And as people are, you might have a task that can't be closed out, but you might have another little item that needs to be done on that task. You can just add it as a little checkbox inside that task. Well, I got to get this done and this done and this done before I can actually close out that task. And if you need to put any comments, or some other people that also might be working on that task need to put any comments in there, they can just put like a little comment, just like they would in Facebook, just making little comments on the task so you guys can collaborate better and together, as opposed to just shooting off emails back and forth that get lost, and all that thought and data just goes away forever. And then Office 365 E3, this is the $20 per user month plan. When people get into this, I talk to them that this is when you need like advanced security capabilities of Office 365. So if you need things like to be able to send encrypted emails, if you need things like data loss prevention, so you can set up, say, well, banking information or social security numbers or things like that, or like at Xerillion, we have a data loss prevention rule in our Office 365 account which says any email going from inside the company to outside the company with the word password in it, that gets kicked back to the user. That's not allowed to go out because it has to be encrypted. In other words, we might get clients that say, hey, can you send me you know, an updated version of all of our network information so we can have it updated on our end. No problem. We'll have password information in that. So that should not go from inside our company to outside our company without being encrypted. You know, that's just good policy. So we have that rule to prevent that. And I'll tell you what, as many times as I see that rule get fired off in our company, and a lot of people here hate that rule, you know, because it forces them. They'll send out the email, it get bounced back to them, they get annoyed, like, oh, geez, you know, then they have to resend the email, and you know, but it's a good thing because it keeps things more secure. If you need, you know, data retention policies, like if your company has a policy saying, well, we, you know, emails older than 5 years or documents older than 10 years, we just have a policy in our company that those things get deleted and if they're not archived, or they may get archived instead of deleted. But the point is there's a certain age limit to that data on your network as a company policy. If you need certain things like that, you would want the E3 version. If you want legal hold and search capabilities across all of your documents and your email, you're going to want the E3 plan. And then lastly, the E5 plan. A couple things there. If you want to add a phone system into your Office 365 account, which as of the end of March, Microsoft released into production their phone system with Office 365. You can get the, you know, things like a call routing queue. You can get you know, where people can call different departments, and that is in the E5 plan. And then you just have to add in a, you know, a domestic or international calling plan. The domestic plan is $12 a person. The international calling plan, unlimited, and the international calling plan is $24 per person. So we here at Xerillion, you know, being a gold partner, we have access to these, and we're actually going to be, you know, making this switch ourselves, and then we're going to be, you know, as the probably within the month, and then we'll be, you know, having another video about getting your phone system set up through Office 365, which is a really neat feature, because when you use Skype for business, you know, you can see if somebody's, you know, at their computer, off their computer. They can see if they're out of the office. You can see if they're in meetings. Well, once the phone system's tied in, you actually see that they're on the phone, and it helps you know how to communicate with that person. That's all it means, you know, because we all know the feature is there. If you really want to say, look, I'm at my computer, but I don't want anybody disturbing me, or I want to look like I'm offline, you can set that. But at the end of the day, it's real helpful to know, well, you know, can I reach out to this person by just sending a chat message, or can I reach out to them? Should I reach out to them by sending them an email, or is this something that, you know, we need to have a meeting about, or are they on the phone right now? So I probably really shouldn't even bother them, or I should send them a chat message. It helps to move things along inside the business. So that's where, you know, you can really take where things are going with Skype for Business. And also E5 is the most secure platform. If you want to take the extra security level, where emails that come into your organization in E5, they're detonated. So what happens is the email, the attachment is pulled out, it's ran inside a little container, and it's run. And if Microsoft sees something that looks funny about that attachment, it will be stripped out from that email. Otherwise, the attachment will be then sent through on and added to that email. So it's possible for the email to arrive first, but the attachment to be held up for a few minutes while Microsoft is testing it to protect you. And then the next thing is safe attachment, safe links. So all those links that you get inside emails, you know, we're always worried about that one particular link. You click on it, and then it sends you out to some weird place. Or it sends you to some weird place, but you don't notice it, and then sends you to the right place. But in the meantime, really quickly, within milliseconds, install some bad software on your computer, and then you're sitting there with bad software for 6 to 9 months. And you don't even know it. And data's, you know, your computer's being compromised. Well, Safe Links, Microsoft puts a little barrier between the world that sent you the link and then you clicking on the link, and it's going to make sure that where you're supposed to be going is the right place. That link is taking you to a good place, not a bad place. So we use that here, and you know, viruses typically come in through email, links, or attachments. And so if you can clear that up with an E5 subscription, highly recommend it. So anyway, but that summarizes the versions, and then business essentials. I'll just go through them, you know, kind of real quick here. You know, when you just need the back-end IT, a place to put your documents, a place to put your email, and you really don't need the desktop apps, the $5 a month version works just fine. And by the way, you can mix and match versions. The business premium, it's the most common choice. It's the $12.50 per user per month. It gives you the basics to run the business, and plus you also get the Office desktop application. So if you don't have the advanced security needs, or you don't have a bigger infrastructure where you might need to do more integrations with a local computer network, business premium is going to be the right fit for you. And then E3, when you need to move from having just the basics to getting advanced security, E3 is what you'd want to use. And then E5, when you want to move into having advanced security, but also having a phone system, and even take those other features with safe links in your emails and also safe attachments, E5 is what you'd be using as well. And just so you know, Xerillion, we use the E5 subscription, and we also have the phone features tied to it, and we'll be adding those shortly, as I mentioned before. And that's it. So, hopefully this was helpful. I'll get back to my slide. Hopefully this is helpful summarizing the Office 365 subscriptions. I do take these calls a lot, probably about 4 or 5 a week. And so hopefully people will find this helpful to know a little bit before, going into an Office 365 setup would be the best fit for them. For most places, it's probably going to be Office 365 Business Premium. And the last little thing I'll say is, if you're somewhat technical, you can go in, you could probably get this running, but you really should talk to somebody about getting the system set up and then you being trained on it. Whether you're a technical person yourself or whether you're not technical, one of the keys here is to make sure you understand the platform. So here at Xerillion, when we set up clients, we certainly get the Office 365 account, what we call the tenant. We get that set up for the user. But also a big part of it is doing the training as well. So if we're doing training for the end users, we might do 2 or 3 training sessions where we'll take them through the whole portal so they understand what Office 365 is, and it's more than just the Office desktop apps and getting email going. There's a huge platform there they can work off of. So we'll do that training ahead of any cutover that we do, and then after people have had a couple weeks to work with it, then we'll do another Q&A training session. So people can ask questions. They've been working on it. Maybe they're stuck on something or they're wondering things. And then what I do months after is I come and say, all right, a new app's come out inside of Office 365 that we think our users might be interested in to learning more about, and here's why. We'll bring that to their attention as well. So anyway, hope that is helpful. Thanks for your time.